if someone comes up to you and they say, Pastor Chris, I'm leaving because I'm not growing here.
I'm not growing here. Okay. Just remember growth is like relationship is two-way. Okay, growth is not only the responsibility of the pastor or the leader. Growth is also the responsibility of the person.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the church responsibility to grow for the people to grow. It's our responsibility to give you the food, but it's also your responsibility to eat the food, right? I'm a mom. I cook a lot, right? So if I cook a dinner, lunch, and I put it there on the table, and then one day I realize my kids are starving. They're malnourished. Then I'll ask them, did you eat the food that we didn't really want your food, or we didn't eat it? Then is it my fault? Like, that's not my fault, right? I gave you the food. So if you look at the Bible, I've heard this from Kenneth Hagin. There's one man that came up to him and said, I feel sorry for you. And Kenneth Hagin said, why? Because you are always teaching about faith. You are always teaching faith to people. Because that was God's assignment to him, to teach people faith. God told him that there's a lot of preaching about faith, but no one really teaches faith. So I want you to teach faith. So he's teaching faith, 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 always. Mark 11, Mark 11, Mark 11. So anyway, this guy said, because you have so much responsibility, because you're teaching people about faith, and imagine the responsibility that you have. What if these people doesn't do that, what you teach them? And he said, okay, I agree with you there, but I also have to tell you that you also, as a listener, has the responsibility to do what you heard. So he referred to the story of the parable of the sower. He said, if you look at the story of the parable of the sower was only mentioned once, because the responsibility of the sower is to sow the seed. But then if you read the rest of that parable, the more responsibility was actually given to the hearer. Right.
Yeah.
So, responsibility of the teacher, responsibility of the pastor, responsibility of the church leaders is to feed you the word, to give you the word that is necessary, but it's your responsibility as well to take what is given to you and put it into action, and then you grow. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying, yes, there might be instances where you do that, like you take what they're teaching you, you read the Bible, you pray, you are involved with everything that's happening in the church, and you're still not growing. I That is a place where you really have to seek God and ask God, Lord, why am I not growing? Is there something wrong, or are you moving me out from? Because there are times where, as a pastor, people will tell me, Pastor Chris, I wanna get out of the church. And if I sense that, yes, you're not meant to be in this church, I'll let you go. Right? Because I cannot stop your growth if you're not growing here. And God has something for you there. But I need to see it after a year. This that happened to us with our experience. These people doesn't wanna come with us because the church is too far in Menai, and they said we gonna go close to this area. At that time, I don't have harvest now, so I said okay, bye bye, right? After a year, they still call me for counseling. They still ask me for prayer. And I said, what happened? Are you not supposed to be in this church? Are you not supposed to have your pastor there at the church? What happened there? What happened to your evangelism? Are you still sharing the word? Which they were doing it when they were with us for 2 years. They stopped evangelizing. They stopped winning souls. They stopped praying in tongues. So from there, I could judge that they didn't really go out because they wanted to grow. They're not growing in this church.
Right.
They just for convenience.
Right.
They moved to another church because of convenience. Because there's no fruit. Like the fire for evangelism is gone. And they still ask me for prayer. They still ask me for counseling. So that's like, no, because you have your different house now. You have a different pastor now. I love you, but you have to go to your pastor. You have to ask them for your prayer. I can pray for you, but I cannot give you that time because I have I have the
You have your own
shepherd here
pastor.
now,
Yeah.
right? So in the house, you have been, like we didn't discuss this the first topic. You need a you need a shepherd. You need a shepherd. When you got saved, you're a baby. Like, we cannot just throw you out without a mother looking after you, changing your nappy, giving you milk. And that's why
Yeah.
you need church.
Yeah.
Because at church we will have your mother, that someone that will look after you, take care of you until you are able to stand up and walk by yourself.